Everybody, thank you for being part of this presentation here. Thank you, Dimitri, very much for inviting me to this little conference right here. And I will talk about AI-driven prototyping. So like you said, I'm the CEO of HelloDesign. We are developing digital products all day long. And with the appearance of artificial intelligence, I'm very sure that we can increase the speed in which we are developing digital products. And I have a lot of things shared with me regarding to my practical daily life. So it's not a very theoretical presentation, it's more like a practical presentation, but I'm very happy to share this with you guys.
Awesome. I'm gonna give stage to you, and
Perfect.
If you're ready, we can start.
Awesome. So let me quickly share the screen. So everybody, guess what? This amazing picture right here is created with Midjourney. You need an awesome Midjourney image within your AI presentation. This is very important. No, just kidding. Like I said, I'm the CEO of HelloDesign. We are a behavioral design agency. That means that we are most of the time combining design thinking with behavioral science and building products that change behavior. So to just give you a little bit of context, when I'm talking about the artificial intelligence things later on, when I do this and how I use this. So like I said, we are doing a lot of things in the healthcare industry. And for example, right here, we are creating patient diaries. So a patient have to document their diseases every single day. We do a lot of gamification in there. And we already used a little bit of artificial intelligence to come up with text right here, to come up with images and blah, blah, blah. But this is the stuff I am building with my team every single day. We are based in Germany, and we are doing this for 3 years, and before I was a UX design freelancer, so I know a little bit of the two worlds. I don't know from the audience if there are more people from agencies or freelancers as well. So if you have later on questions in the Q&A session, just feel free to ask. This is another example we are created. This is a game for mental health, and this is another thing. This is a communication platform for hospitals. So just give you a quick feeling what I'm actually doing when I'm talking about I am the CEO of a product design or behavioral design company. This is the stuff I am creating with my team. So nonetheless, right now I want to jump into this artificial intelligence part, and especially how we can increase the speed of product development. And before I start with the detailed stuff, I want to start with a question. So think about product development in general, and especially about how it's developed over the last couple of years. And one big question is, how have we as designers, developers, and product managers tried to accelerate product development in the past? So everybody in front of your computers, just think for 1 second. What are methods, ideas that we used as designers, developers to accelerate product development? Just think for it for a second. Okay, so we started with this waterfall approach years ago. So we think about, okay, we want to have a product and we need a very long briefing. We have to write down all the features, and then we give it to the development department, and they will figure this out. So obviously, this is an approach that is not feasible anymore, and especially even in the past, this was a process where a lot of people lost a lot of money because the costs always increase. The development time is always longer than expected because it's not an iterative, agile approach, and we can't simply anticipate what is the best feature for the users months ahead. But this was the first approach to make product development a little bit shorter. And the next approach that we try to do is the agile or the lean startup approach. So our lean product development. We started to come up with the idea that we need an idea, we have to build it, then we have to measure something, and then we launch it. And then we repeat this process all the time, to have more feedback from users, to become more human-centered, to have a more iterative approach. But the problem is, it feels a little bit better, and it is actually faster to ship something, because this is a very important thing within this approach. But very often people get stuck at the building part, and it's a death thing as well, and they get lost in the building part. They never measure something, they never launch something, because they are scared of the users, scared of a bad product. And so the agile and lean approach is not the best case. Especially when you think you have the right solution for your problem, but actually you don't, you're not really sure if the solution you come up with is really right. You're already in this building cycle and always spending money. So to break it down to, from my perspective, the best solution how we increase the speed of product development in the past is a design sprint, especially when you are and you were working with startups, new businesses, and innovative companies. This is the stuff we are doing the most, because we are always, or not always, but 90% of our clients hire us to be at the beginning of a project. And the approach of running a design sprint, having an idea and instantly measure it, is the best solution I know to increase speed with product development. So from my perspective, this was the holy grail when I discovered this methodology. I use it now for years. And just to give you a quick overview what it actually is, just one definition of it. A design sprint is a 4-day workshop to quickly solve challenges, create new products, or improve processes and services. The result of a sprint is an interactive prototype that can be tested by real potential users. Maybe you already ask yourself, okay, Fabrice, what this has to do with artificial intelligence? So the things that I explained the past couple minutes is just how we tried to increase the speed in the past. And what I want to explain a couple slides after this is how we can even increase this with artificial intelligence. So for everybody who has never saw how a design sprint will look like, so it's just a couple of people sitting in a room. It's like a hackathon thing, and it's need a facilitator to go through very structured exercises to produce the best outcome within 4 days. And the outcome is always an interactive prototype. Everybody who ever opened Figma knows that this is coming out of Figma, and this is the stuff that we are testing with users at the 4th day of the design sprint. So far so good. A little bit of history, how we increased the speed of product development in the past. But then November 13th, 2022 hit, and there is something coming, and everybody maybe don't know the exact date what happened, but more or less what I maybe bring up right now, and this is ChatGPT. One part or one tool in the big world of artificial intelligence. From my perspective, as a CEO of a digital product design company, ChatGPT is the biggest and most valuable tool for me right now. Maybe there will be something bigger in the next couple months or years. We don't know, because we have this exponential growth in the field. From my perspective, this is still the best thing. So now we have a design sprint, which is the fastest way to develop a product, and we have ChatGPT. So the question you can ask is, how can we get even faster? And maybe we have the spaceship. We are in the sky, but now we need the spaceship to travel through time even faster. So, and the answer to this is an AI-driven design sprint. So you just combine the best things of the two worlds. You keep the methodology of a design sprint, which is proven over the last couple of years, and you add the value of artificial intelligence, especially ChatGPT. But I have a couple of examples from other tools as well. So let me quickly explain what this actually means. So one thing is the team. You always need a similar team for a design sprint, and this team is already always built based on a decider, the development team. This can be your designer, this can be a front-end, a back-end developers, and this has to be a facilitator. But now you have the new person in the room. This is the artificial intelligence, or maybe the prompter that is working constantly with the AI. So maybe it's not just the AI itself, maybe it's the prompter too, but maybe the development team or the facilitator can be the prompter. It's an interesting thing that I currently try to figure out within my next design sprints. And what you see right here is the agenda of the design sprint. And from my perspective, I don't want to go too deep into the details and explaining exactly what you do when within a design sprint. This is another talk. I just want to give you the quick overview that you have usually 4 days, but from my perspective, you can increase the speed so good at the first day that you can cut off another half day within the design sprint. I will definitely cut off the second day because you can solve the exercises of the design sprint of the first day, or you can make them very, very, very fast with artificial intelligence tools. And this is the stuff that I want to explain you right now. So maybe you are a facilitator too. Maybe you are a designer running design sprints. Maybe you never heard about it, and you can just use these exercises right now. So in the design sprint, you always have these how might we questions where you want to try out or figure out what the problem really is, how complex it is. And you want to give all the participants of the design sprint a very broad view of what we have to solve with this tool. And usually, how might we questions look like this? You reframe a lot of problems within the design sprint. You need 1 hour for this. Everybody is writing and thinking, and it takes a lot of time. And often you just rephrase things you already have, and you don't come up with a lot of different perspectives because people are already a little bit framed based on what they know. So we can ask our artificial intelligence, for example, within ChatGPT, that we need a little bit more help with elaborating the problem. So ask something like, before I start designing, what could be the overall biggest challenge for XYZ? And this is really depending on your product you are currently designing. So right here, I asked the question regarding to a pasta delivery application. Just a funny example. And maybe you have to take care of the competition. You have to take care of the logistic and operations. You have to take care of the user experience. You have to take care of the technical implementation. And I am very sure that this little elaboration of the problem helps the humans within the design sprint to really have the broad view of what are the most important how might we questions we can come up with. And this is the first little hack you can use to reduce the time within the design sprint from 60 minutes to 30 minutes. So it's a 50% optimization. The other thing is that you have to do within the first day of the design sprint is you have to come up with a 2-year goal. And most of the time, it's a very big discussion because you have deciders in the room and other people, and they are formulating something like this. So 2 years from now, our employees, blah, blah, blah. So it's a very tricky exercise because you are often lose yourself in the formulation of this 2-year goal. So people always discussing about this one word or this, that. And often it takes a lot of time to actually summarize the very good thoughts the team has. And what I did in the past within the design sprint is that I simply took the insights participants created. Everything is in German. It's just for an example to explain what I actually did. The COOs and the CEOs of this company wrote their 2-year goal. I took their 2-year goals. There was no discussion. I just marked the most important parts within the 2-year goals they wrote, and I used that stuff to wrote. I used this stuff as prompts. So the insights from their 2-year goals was my insights, my prompts, and I put them into ChatGPT and come up with a very good summary and very, very good formulated 2-year vision of the company. So before it was about elaborating problems, you can use ChatGPT. This time it's about quick summary. I think something obvious how to use the tool, but maybe not that obvious to use it, especially for phrasing these 2-year goals within a design sprint. The other thing is journey mapping. So people often get stuck with journey mapping, especially I work a lot with teams, they never did a journey map before or a user journey map. And they start with a lot of post-its. Again, they don't know because they never created the user journey before what are the most important touch points within the user experience. They think a lot, and you always need 2 hours or even more for this. And again, you can use ChatGPT as a little bit of a knowledge booster. Because if you are never built an e-commerce store before, or you never built a pasta delivery service before, you can ask something like, what are the 5 most important steps within the user journey of an app for ordering pasta? And then you get ordering registration, browsing and menu selection, customization and order placement, payment and checkout. We always have to take care as UX designers if these steps are really right. But you definitely can use the onboarding process is number 1, the menu, the customization or the order placement, the payment, and put this on the wall. And it only takes, I don't know, 1 to 5 minutes to come up with the first topics. And this is very helpful if you have participants that never created a user journey map before, because they don't have to start from scratch. They don't have any knowledge. You can use ChatGPT or any other language model that supports you as a knowledge boost. Another thing is lightning demos. In the design sprint, you're always looking for other competitors. You're looking for visual inspiration. You're looking for information architecture inspiration. And usually it looks like this, that you make this analysis, you put the screenshots over there. But if you have no idea who are my competitors, who should I analyze, you also can use ChatGPT as kind of a research agent. So something like, can you please find me the top 5 food delivery apps in Germany? And then you have this list, Lieferando, Lieferheld, Delivery Hero, Uber Eats, and Volt. And then you instantly can go to these applications, making the screenshots, and you can come up with these lightning demos and these competitor analysis way faster. Because usually in the design sprint, people sit down, open up Google and think, okay, who's actually our competitor? Then they go to the competitor side, and it's a very long process, and you can really decrease the time you need to come up with the lightning demos. The other thing is, and it's almost the last stuff that I will show you how you can increase the speed, especially within a design sprint, is in a design sprint, you already outline a solution within the first day. Usually, when it's an on-site design sprint, you actually draw wireframes. And in a time where you have artificial intelligence, it's kind of crazy that you're still sitting in a room painting. But beside that, I still think it's a very valuable exercise because people get aligned and people can become creative and can think out of the box. You also can use ChatGPT again as kind of, I would say, creativity booster. Because sometimes it's actually hard to have everything in mind what should be on the screen, and you add it afterwards, and then you think, God damn it, it would be better to have this before. So you simply can ask something like, can you create a blueprint for information architecture for a pasta delivery app? And maybe there is something you simply forget based on the process of the design sprint, because everything is very, very fast. And you maybe forget the categories, or you maybe forget the popular pasta. And maybe this inspires you to draw, and this is still fine, a better concept within the design sprint. And it gives you a little bit of a structure, so you know, okay, we need a little bit of home, and we need a little bit of a menu or customization. We need the card anywhere. And sometimes you simply forget this within the design sprint. It's very good to have this ChatGPT as a creativity booster. And almost the last thing that I will show you is the prototyping part. So like I said, the design sprint is separated into 4 days. The 3rd day is the prototyping day. And when I say prototyping, I simply mean a designer is sitting down, using these sketches and transform them into an actual interactive prototype that you can test with a user. And when you check out this stuff right here, we never should use bad iStock images or any lorem ipsum texts anymore, because ChatGPT and Midjourney can help us to come up with original or almost original content that is way better to test the idea on the 4th day of the design sprint. And when you have a big product to create, within 4 days, it's very, very hard to have all the texts and all the images placed within the prototype. And with random texts, your user is always, especially the test users, are always a little bit confused. Why is this text not correct? And is this product really working? And you have a higher quality prototype when you are using something like Midjourney or ChatGPT, for example, with this furniture application right here. So what I created within ChatGPT and Midjourney is the name of the application. So it's Ambience Atelier. Not the best, but not the worst name for an e-commerce store for furniture. I created the headlines. I created the subscription, the descriptions. I actually created the 3D model on the right side, the texture thing on the right side. And the other thing that you can get a little bit help with is the CTA color. For example, I in the 2-year goal at the beginning, the idea was that it's a premium brand, and then I can ask ChatGPT, hey, what is the best color for a premium brand? It's still a little bit of a subjective thing, and you still have to elaborate as a designer, is this really true, or is this just a trivial answer? But if you want to go with speed, if you just want to test something at the beginning, and this is what the design sprint is for, then this is absolutely fine. The other part right here is something I tested with an e-commerce store for techwear stuff. Same thing. Design is coming from Midjourney, and it's insane how you can prototype this. So it already feels like a real product after a half hour of interactive prototyping. So I'm almost done with the presentation and done with my time. Just to summarize this again for you, how you can use artificial intelligence within a design sprint and what are the benefits. So you can elaborate your problems. So you can use it for the how might we questions or other challenges you have within the design sprint. You can use it as a quick summarizer. And when you are in a workshop, everybody has to write something. Use ChatGPT as a summarizer because it saves a lot of time. The other thing is you can use it, especially for the participants, as a knowledge booster. You can use it as a research agent, for example, when it comes to the lightning demos. And you can obviously use it as a creative booster for creating text, for creating images, to make the product, and this is the interesting part, even more real within a shorter time. And just to finish this up, and then I say thank you for listening. From my perspective, to end with a big statement, is artificial intelligence is not a job, is a job booster and not a job killer. So that's almost it from my side. If you're interested in a free meeting that I am discussing within your company, how to increase the speed of digital product development, just scan the QR code and you can just type in your email address, and then we can come up with the 30-minute free meeting, how we can boost your product development in your company. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Fabrice. It was amazing. I really like your talk. I also really like it. Okay, last slide.
No, sorry. Yeah, it's just my face. My face is here as well. So let me quickly end.
We can do both. It looks great. Yeah, thank you for your talk. I really like your energy.